Hi, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a quick review on the Remington Model 700 chambered in 223. If you like what you see, hit that like button, hit the subscribe, don't forget about the bell, and please leave a comment below. Thanks for stopping by. And we'll go ahead and take a quick look and do the safety check. Nothing inside the chamber. This one has the composite stock, and as you can see, it's in the camo. I'm not too big or too small on camo. I bought this gun from a friend of mine, and that's just how it came. Normally I'd prefer your basic wood stock or even the black tactical look, but I don't care that this one's camouflage. I actually think it looks kind of cool. This is the Varmint series of the rifle, and it's got quite a sizable and squishy butt pad on it, which I guess is just maybe quality control from Remington. 223, especially this one, doesn't have hardly any recoil whatsoever, so I'm not really sure what the idea behind such a sizable butt pad, but I'm glad it's there. You know, you can plug a few hundred rounds down and you don't even notice, and you know, it just makes it look kind of cool as well. This does have the attachment on the butt stock, so you can put, you know, your lanyards or, you know, whatever else you're going to hook to it. I don't know what you guys want to hook to your guns, but there it is. And it also had one on the front. You can see I've put a rail on it so I can mount my bipod to it. And this bipod's just the same bipod from all my other videos. The way I see it, it's easy to get on, it's easy to get off. I like the operation of it. So why buy a whole bunch of bipods for all my different rifles when I can just keep using the same one? And it works just fine. A friend of mine, you know, one of the other great things about being into the quote-unquote gun community is this little rail right here was given to me from a friend of mine at the range, so I didn't have to buy it. And from people on YouTube here or my local gun range, I've been just overwhelmed by a bunch of great stuff that people give to you for free because they want to help you out. And, you know, I'm thankful for that to each and every one that's ever helped me. Thankful to everybody that watches my videos and has subscribed. So it's just a great community to be a part of. This is probably the longest barreled rifle that I own, not counting my 37A shotgun, which is just a keepsake. I'm not going to fire that one. And it does have the heavy barrel. Now, I guess it's just because it's a internal magazine well, which I believe holds 5 rounds. It may be 4, but I'm pretty sure it's 5. This barrel doesn't get very hot, but we only load 1 round at a time. I think maybe once I've loaded the well all the way up. There's no rapid fire at my range, so there's no reason to load it with more than I want. And I guess that's probably leads to why the barrel doesn't get quite as hot, because there's, you know, a few seconds between each shot. You know, ejecting the cartridge and loading a new cartridge, checking out where your shot just went. But it's a pretty nice barrel. As you can see, there's no marring on it, there's no scratches. The guy who I bought it from, it came in the box, you know, and this scope did come on it. We'll talk about that just in a minute. I don't think that the guy put more than, say, 20 rounds through it. He bought it and just didn't really have an application for it, so he decided to sell it to me. Hopefully one day I'll be able to video his personal collection, because he's got some really nice stuff that I think you guys would like. Okay, now we'll talk about the scope. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know I know absolutely nothing about scopes. This is a 4-12 by 40, and personally, this is my favorite scope. Out of all the guns that, you know, my friends at the range have let me shoot, to the firearms that I own, this one's the clearest. It stays zeroed the longest. I'll show you the case that I carry it in. It's just a regular soft case. It's the easiest to zoom in, zoom out, operate, and change from, say, 25 yards all the way up to 200 yards. 200's the furthest we can shoot at my range. And I don't know what model it is. This gun came with this rifle on it. Like I said, this is the Varmint series. So maybe it's a Remington model, or if anybody out there watching knows when Remington puts a scope on a rifle before they sell it, what company they use, well, then that would be it. But other than that, it's a very nice scope, and in my opinion, it's my favorite scope. The bolt slides in and out very smooth, and it ejects great. It feeds great every time. The one thing that I will say is right in here, once you got it all the way down, right there, it travels really smooth, but from here to here and from here to here, it hangs up. Now, it doesn't hang up like broken, but it's just stiff. I'm assuming that it's supposed to be that way to make sure that the round's completely chambered. But if I had to knock the bolt, that's what I'm going to knock it on, as it's a little stiff right there. Other than that, it's great. I don't know how to take the bolt out. I haven't figured that out yet, but also haven't tried. I usually just clean the bore and wipe everything down from the inside, and that's how I take care of it. So it does have, you can see it a little bit, the little stippling grip on the thumb pad here, which I guess comes in handy. It definitely helps you get a grip on it. I wouldn't say that it's aggressive at all. It's pretty close to being smooth, but it looks neat anyway. And this also has a safety and a fire switch, which, you know, on and off. Pretty simple to operate with your thumb. And we'll go ahead and take a look at the trigger pull next. Hey, the trigger is really simple, and I'll be quiet so you can hear it. Maybe. I don't know if you can hear it. I got headsets on. But it's a real easy pull. And you see it has zero travel. I mean, as soon as you squeeze it to fire the round off, the travel's over with. And I don't know if you guys are hearing that or not. Pretty simple trigger. I don't know if I'd call it light. If you watch the Remington 700 308 video that I did, that's super light. This is not a think about it trigger. This is a you gotta pull it trigger, but it's definitely lighter than my AR-15. I like it. I think it's a pretty easy trigger to use. And how about that? Just like my good friend Budget says, maybe we'll learn something together. By the way, check out Budget Guns and Gears review. He should be doing a live podcast tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern. This little silver tab right there, if you push it in, then the bolt comes out. So, alright, now we learned something together tonight. How about that? That's pretty sweet. I'll put that back in later. And you can see the stamping, Remington Model 700. And we'll skip the serial number because somebody told me to stop showing serial numbers. And Remington Arms Company Incorporated. I want to say that's Illini, New York. I don't know. Pardon me for anybody who lives in New York that I pronounced that wrong. It's chambered in 223. Now, I've made the mistake a couple times of taking 5.56 rounds to the range with me. You know, grabbed the wrong box of stuff and fired it through here. Both times I didn't realize that I was doing it until after the range day, and nothing's gone wrong. I doubt anything would go wrong. I've left myself little don't mess up notes before, so I don't do it again. A lot of people say it doesn't matter. The factory says don't do it, so I'm not going to do it. You know, I've made a couple mistakes. I've got by with it. I'll just call myself lucky. But I'd recommend following what the barrel says. Then here's the case that I carry with it. Pretty simple. It's a real tree case, and then I guess that's Allen leather on it. Nice little package pouch. It's got the Velcro and the zipper, so you can put different stuff down there. And it did come with the most important part. It came with the owner's manual. Be sure to read your owner's manual, get to know your firearm. And it's got the felt on the inside. And the gun fits in there perfectly, even with the scope on it. But like I was saying earlier, with the scope, it stays zeroed in when I grab this and toss it in the back of my car, or when I come home and put it in my gun closet and it gets bumped around, the scope stays zeroed at all times, so that's pretty good. Alright, well there was a quick look at my Remington 700 223 bolt action. If you like what you see, hit that like button, hit the subscribe, don't forget about the bell, and please leave a comment below. Thanks for stopping by.